What's going on, everybody? It's time for the main event of the evening. Alongside my brother Enrique Contreras, my name is Jose Contreras, and you guys are watching the main event brought to you by Star 6 Media. You see the new layout. This is how we're coming out, all 2023. And what a show we got for you guys today, because as you can see on the rundown, we are going to talk WrestleMania. We're going to get into BENAVIDEZ versus Plant over the weekend. Marlon Vera, Sandhagen, which happened this past Saturday, Ricky. But man, oh man, WrestleMania's this Saturday and Sunday, Ricky. I can't wait. We're gonna get into every single match on the card, at least try to. And of course, we'll talk about our favorite WrestleMania moments and what we think is going to happen on the Raw after WrestleMania. All
Right.
that on the main event today. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
excited for this episode, man. Let's get right into it. Ricky, this past Saturday we had Cheeto Marlon Vera versus Corey Sandhagen in the main event of UFC Fight Night.
Yep.
It went into decision. Not the way I thought it would. I was rooting for Vera here, but that wasn't the case. What happened?
No, it wasn't the case, man. It's just that Corey Sandhagen was just a better fighter this night. He did a lot of, he's known to move around. He's not, he's never right there in front of you. He's there. He sticks. He moves. He goes to the wrestling. He throws kicks, and that's exactly what he did here. Earlier in the fight, he got, I believe, 3 or 4 takedowns. Held Marlon Vera down for most of the fight, and Vera was not really able to get it going. So, uh, and look, Marlon Vera is known as a slow starter, right? But and he's known as a slow starter, and he tends to turn it up later on in the round, usually with a knockout, like a vicious knockout. And he usually beat these guys up pretty bad, and he wasn't able to do it here. Sanhagen was just not there for him. He couldn't figure him out, and he lost a decision. And Corey Sandhagen, who was number 5 in the rankings, Marlon Vera number 3, they've now switched places now, and
Yeah,
Sandhagen is back up in the rankings again with his win.
back up in the rankings once again, Ricky. What happens from here? Do you think he gets the next title shot? Or will he have to go against either number one, number two guy first?
Uh, yeah, I don't think he gets the next title shot. And I'll get to that in a minute. Why? I think most likely he's probably gonna fight Marab Dawashvili. I think
Yeah.
that's who he's gonna fight next because Marab doesn't want to fight Sterling, and he's number 1 in the division.
Why is
You
that?
know, they're teammates. They train
Oh,
in the
okay.
same camp. So
Yeah, but come on. Let's think about it here. If you and I were in the same camp and both our dreams, our aspiration was to be a champion. I mean, we've seen it before, right? We've seen it with guys like Serial Gan and Francis Ngannou who train together. You
mhm,
gotta separate. You gotta at least go for it, no? Or what do you think? Or you think that's just
yeah,
an unwritten rule in MMA?
eh, it's sort of an unwritten rule, but at the same time, if you really want to do it, you could. Other teammates will probably move up a division to try to win the championship there. Um, doesn't look like Marab's going to do that, at least not anytime soon.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. He could do it, but it doesn't seem like he really wants to. And I got to say too, I did not like the matchmaking for this fight.
Right.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I don't think this matchmaking did Marlon Vera any favors. Reason I say this is because Vera was on a 4-fight winning streak, and he was destroying. He destroyed his last 4 opponents, or 3 or 4 opponents he's last destroyed. Right?
Right.
Sandhagen, and he was, and by the way, he was number 3 in the rankings. Sandhagen was number 5. He's had a couple opportunities to become champion, and interim champion, and he was unsuccessful. So to me, Sandhagen is sort of becoming the gatekeeper in this division,
Yeah.
or at least in my opinion, he's starting to become that. Right here, we have Sugar Sean O'Malley, who's number 2 in the rankings, and doesn't have a fight schedule because it's looking like he might be the one that's next to get the title shot after Sterling and Cejudo. And if I don't think this matchup should have happened. I think it should have been Marlon Vera and Sean O'Malley. But
Yeah.
as we talked about last week about Dana White privilege, it looks to me like he's being protected
Of
and he's
course
getting
he
the next
is.
title. He's getting the next title shot.
Of
So
course.
yeah, with the win string that Marlon Vera was on, he should have fought up, not down. He should have fought Sean O'Malley, who was number 2, not number 5. Not number 5, Corey Sandhagen, who's now number 3 now. So that's my opinion on it. What do you think, man?
I mean, yeah, I agree, but at the same time, I mean, the way this match, the way it resulted, I
Yeah,
guess it was a good match to put because Corey Sandhagen
yeah.
proved and showed himself
Oh yeah,
for years.
I won't take that away. Yeah, he won
Yeah,
convincingly.
yeah.
He won convincingly for sure. But yeah,
But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Usually, typically, you're supposed to fight up if you're that number three guy. Your goal is to fight unless the other two fighters are already, in a bout against each other. Then, like, as you wait, then why not face someone
yeah,
trying to take your spot? And which he did here against Corey Sandhagen, and he lost, man. So that take nothing
yeah.
away from Sandhagen. He deserved
Oh
that
no, no,
win.
no, 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 no. I don't take nothing away from him. I just yeah, I just saw the the agenda here is what I saw.
Oh yeah,
Because
well, I mean, you're not
because
wrong. You're not wrong because there
'cause-
there is we all know there is Dana White privilege, and Sugar Sean O'Malley has been one of the most fighters that benefited from that his entire career. 100.
yeah.
percent
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And not to mention that O'Malley and Vera have history.
hmm
He's the only sole loss on Sean O'Malley's record is Marlon Vera.
Yeah,
And I would have loved to see a rematch there. I mean, it would have been perfect, but again, it looks like he will get the next title shot against whoever wins between Sterling and Cejudo. Another fight I'm looking forward to in this division.
yeah, definitely another fight we're looking forward to in that division. We'll definitely preview it here at the main event brought to you by Star Six Media. Real quickly, Ricky, for Marlon Vera, what happens here then? I mean, now that he's dropped down to fifth, can you see him trying to climb back up the rankings, or do you think it's going to take some time?
I think he will climb up, back in the ring because I don't think it's going to take very long for him. He does. He is a great fighter. He has a lot of knockout power in his strikes. It's just he was not able to catch Sandhagen. Sandhagen was not there in front of him, and he couldn't figure him out. So I'm pretty sure we will see Marlon Vera back. Uh, you know, back at the top. So I'm sure he will get a title shot eventually. Maybe he'll get
Yeah,
another rematch with Sean O'Malley, but yeah, he'll be back.
100%, guys.
He's definitely one of the up and comers in this division.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's no doubt about it. Guys, make sure to always follow us on Instagram at Star Six Media. That is where you can find all our show content. You'll be able to see every single one of our posts, every single one of our shows that we have going on. You'll see clips from Only Football, JCA Sports, Three Up, Three Down, Slot Shot, the main event as you're watching this today. You name it, and much, much, much more. EAFB podcast with my boy Eric. That's where you want to follow us. Instagram at Star Six Media. We have a clip up there that just went over 1.3 million views of a hockey fan getting punched in the face. If you haven't watched it, you want to see it. It's a really really fun video I edited for sure. But that's where you want to go, guys. Instagram Star Six Media. All right, Ricky, let's move on to the co-main event of the evening, which was Caleb Plant versus David the Mexican Monster Benavidez.
Yeah,
Ricky, this fight happened this past Saturday night. You and I were so excited for this fight, and for good reason. This was for Benavidez' super middleweight uh, championship, and it did not disappoint. These two guys came in, they put on a show, they put on a clinic, but it was David, the Mexican Monster Benavidez, who came out victorious.
yep.
We were there watching it together, man. But what did you see? Why is it that is now that David Benavidez is now the guy everyone's talking about?
Yeah, this was a grudge match. It was a long time coming, 5 years in the making. These guys didn't like each other going into this fight, and then after this fight, these guys found a lot of respect for each other, and you like to see it. You like to see the good sportsmanship, but um, it went exactly, well, not exactly, but it went pretty much on what I expected. I said Caleb Plant was going to look good early. He was going to start early, and surely he did. He was popping the jab. He was moving around. He was throwing combinations. He was landing them. Benavidez was getting a little frustrated early on in the rounds. He was not able to get his offense going because Plant was pretty good in the earlier rounds. By the time he reached to the fifth round, things started to change because once Benavidez started landing his strikes,
Yeah,
particularly the jab and then the body shots, that's when Caleb Plant slowly but surely started to slow down.
yep,
And it became very, very obvious in the eighth round where he was landing hard strikes, where it looked like Plant was almost about to go down, and he was saved by the referee Kenny Bayless, who not only got too involved in this fight, but he allowed for a lot of holding coming from Caleb Plant, and you know it because he saw it. Plant was
not,
holding a lot in this
not
fight.
one word was said to Caleb Plant for holding almost the entire fight. Not one word.
No,
Why do you think that is? Because that's something that I don't think I've ever seen before in my life.
I've never seen that before. And then he would only step in when Benavidez was trying to get out and try to do some dirty boxing in the inside to try to get away from the holding. That
Yeah,
was when he would get involved. In the eighth round, it looked like there was an accidental clash of heads, and that resulted in a cut opening up like right above Caleb Plant's eye. But it looked like Benavidez was almost about to put him out in the eighth round until Bayless stopped to get the cut checked out and everything, and that gave him enough enough time to recover because he was on wobbly legs in that round for
yeah,
sure. And and by the time it got to the 12th round, oh, but anyways, you asked me about the holding, right?
yeah. The holding.
The holding. Ah, man, we can get into conspiracy theories here if you want, but
Of course,
but
main event. I'm all about it, bro. I go deep in the rabbit hole. I go deep in that rabbit hole. Trust
man,
me.
bro, it's either he had a dog in this fight. It's either he had a dog in this fight, either putting because Plant was the underdog in this fight,
He was.
right?
Yeah.
He was the underdog in this fight. It's either that or somebody in the WBC slipped on him like, here, make sure Benavidez doesn't win this fight. We don't want him to, we don't want the pressure of putting on a Canelo fight later, blah blah blah. But that's my tinfoil hat on, for everybody.
Yeah.
But
Right. Right.
anyways, yeah. If we go back to there's no excuse for that at all. No excuse for that at all. Uh, Plant got away with too much clinching in this fight, way too much. Kenny Bayless, he lost control of this fight from the beginning. He was trying to make them touch gloves, and they weren't having it.
Right.
So right then and there was a sign that he was not gonna have any control of this fight. These guys were gonna do whatever the hell they want in this fight. But Caleb Plant got away with a lot. He got away with some low blows, a
Yep.
lot of clinching.
Yep.
Nothing was called against Plant. If anything, Benavidez was warned for I think for probably in the clinching. He was the one that was being warned, not Plant.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, by the time we went to the but by the time from the eighth round on, Benavidez took over. Plant was getting beat up bad, especially by the 11th round, where you can see that probably the fight should have been stopped even there in the 11th round. But Benavidez was putting a beating on this guy in the 11th round. You know, um, I mean, what do you think? You think he should have been stopped in the 11th, or you think he looked good?
I personally, I don't know. I don't know about him getting stopped in the 11th.
Or
I
not stopped, but like someone should have stopped it because he was taking a lot of
Oh,
punishment.
he was taking a beating, but he was also active. He was also he didn't get knocked down. And credit to Caleb Plant. I mean, the guy has been a lot better since facing Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah,
You could tell he went up a level. He took it up a notch. This wasn't a bad fight. He started just like all his fights. He notoriously starts really really good. The pressure is on, but then he just tires out as the fight goes on. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's a cardio issue. I don't know if it's because maybe it's just his game plan. He goes all out in the beginning. Then once his other opponent figures him out, he's
yeah,
easy to read, and he doesn't adjust. I don't know. Maybe that could be a coaching issue. I mean, if you can't adjust to what the other fighter is doing to you, that's a huge issue.
yeah,
But all the credit in the world goes to Benavidez.
yeah, yeah.
But to answer your question, I don't know if it should have got stopped in the 11th round. I don't know if they should have thrown the towel. But what I do know is David Benavidez is legit. For anybody who questioned this man, who questioned this guy, didn't have what it takes to go against the upper echelon guys in boxing. Oh, I hope this proved them wrong. And Ricky, believe it or not, there is a lot of people who hate on David Benavidez. I don't know if it's because of his cockiness. I don't know if it's because if he's young, or maybe because
It's the Canelo fans, bro.
it's a Canelo. It's all it has to be. Because I on our TikTok, make sure to follow us at Star6 Media on TikTok. I put the result of the fight. Like I put the result when they're naming David Benavidez as the winner, and the interview afterwards when he's calling out Canelo Alvarez, and the hate that this man gets in the comments is unreal. They're giving him no shot against someone like Canelo Alvarez, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But I just don't see it. You and I have always talked mightily about this man. We knew but this guy was legit. That he was special, and he proved it to you today. I mean, not today, but Saturday.
Right, right. So I mean, yeah, it's like I said, man. I think it is definitely the Canelo fans
Yeah,
that are spewing a lot of hate towards this guy because whether they like it or not, this guy is number one in this division, the number one contender in the WBC super middleweight division,
he's the
right?
interim champion. I don't even know if
Canelo,
he's the number one contender anymore.
yeah,
He's the fighting champ right now.
number one contender. Well, yeah, he's the interim champ. He is the top guy in the division,
Yeah,
right under Canelo Alvarez,
right.
right under Canelo Alvarez. So Canelo is a champion, and and then he's over here, you know, he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight John Ryder and Mace on around Cinco de Mayo, which it's. I'm not hating on the fight.
Right.
I think because Plan and Benavidez was already a done deal by the beginning
Yeah,
of the year, right?
yeah. And Canelo was hurt.
Yeah, and Canelo's coming back from a hand injury,
Right.
so I understand the fight. But after Benavidez won this fight, he called out Canelo and said, "Hey, you got to give me the title shot now. You got to give me the
Got to.
shot. Let's
Got
do
to.
it in September, right?" This is the fight. This is the fight that I want to see. What I mean, if I ask you, what's a bigger fight this September? Is it Benavidez and Canelo, or is it Canelo and Benavidez, or is it Canelo and Dimitri Bivol the rematch at 175 pounds?
100% Benavidez versus Canelo. Don't get me wrong. Dimitri Bivol is a stud, and this has nothing against Dimitri Bivol. I
Not at
just think
all.
the last fight showed me everything it needed to show me that Canelo wasn't ready to step up and move up in the weight division. That's why this fight makes sense. And let me tell you why, Ricky, real quick.
Yeah,
You said that Canelo's the champion. He is the champ. This is his division. But let
yeah.
me tell you something. If you're the king, right? If you're a king, and I say this, and I say this all the time, but if you're a king, if you have your own kingdom and you're a king, right? You have your own throne, you watch over your own people, all that, and you leave, but then somebody comes in and takes over your throne, takes over your kingdom, and sits on your throne. Who's the king now? And you refused to go back and take it. You have been ignoring it. You have been letting it happen. I'm sorry, but whose throne is that? Because it doesn't seem like it's Canelo's.
I
David
mean,
Benavidez is the interim super middleweight champion. That's a title that Canelo Alvarez currently holds, but for some reason doesn't want to defend. Benavidez has said it twice. He is the mandatory pick, the mandatory fight for Canelo Alvarez, and yet Canelo Alvarez does not go there. There is a reason. So for me, until Canelo comes back and fights David Benavidez, David Benavidez is the champion in that division.
yeah, and their argument was, who has Benavidez fought? What has he accomplished? Right? He is, by the way, the two-time champion, the WBC, super middleweight champion. He only got stripped of it because he got popped for cocaine, and then he missed weight in the second fight. That was why he had to vacate the titles twice, and
Yeah,
that's the same title that Canelo is holding now. Okay, that's the same title that he's holding right now. This is the fight I've been wanting to see for a while now, and it if John Ryder can get a fight with Canelo Alvarez, a guy who is I forget his record, but he has 5 losses. That for sure. That I remember. John Ryder has 5 losses in his record. I don't think he's won a world title. If he can get a fight with Canelo Alvarez, how come David Benavidez, who is now 27-0, 23 knockouts, and is a super middleweight champion, how come he can't get the fight? Why not?
yeah,
The Canelo fans can say whatever they want, but deep down, this fight needs to happen. This is a fight that's great for boxing.
yeah.
And don't get me wrong, if this fight were to happen, I'll tell you right now, I'm 50-50 in this fight.
Me
I'm
too.
50-50. I'm
Me
50-50
too.
because what Caleb Plant did here in this fight, right? He did pretty good in the earlier rounds.
Yeah,
That's something that Canelo can also do, but Canelo has a lot more power in his hands. He has a punch that can hurt Benavidez early, especially if he goes to the body. All right.
right.
But if I'm judging Canelo by his last fight against Triple G in the trilogy, the way that he slowed down in the later rounds and let Golovkin take over in the later rounds, that's not something David Benavidez is going to let him get away with if he does that,
Right.
right? So that's kind of why I'm 50. If Canelo can stop him early, then with his power, then there you go. But if he tends to slow down, if he starts to slow down early in that fight, I think that's where Benavidez could take over. because Benavidez has not shown, any conditioning problems or anything, or any signs of slowing down. If anything, he starts slow, but he picks it up in the and later on in the round. So um, this is the fight that should happen, and I hope it does, man. I really do hope it does.
I do too. I hope this fight does happen, and I agree with you 100%. It's a fight that's 50-50. Yes, I'm talking a lot of smack about Canelo Alvarez, but it's not. I'm not talking smack about him because of his lack of skill. We know this guy is legit. We know he's one of the best boxers, if not the best boxer today. I 100% acknowledge that.
Agree. Yep.
But I'm just frustrated that this fight hasn't happened before when it should have happened a long time ago. But now there's no excuse. This was a primetime fight between Benavidez and Plant. Benavidez showed that and proved to everyone that he deserves a fight against Canelo Alvarez. He called out Canelo Alvarez. Now it's up to Canelo Alvarez after he faces John Ryder. I'm going to be definitely tuning in to see exactly what he says because you know damn well they're going to be asking him about it. And I better hear.
I hope they hound him. I hope they hound him like,
yes,
okay,
yes. And I better hear that he also sees that fight being the next fight. And what better month and what better day, Ricky? You know, Mexican Independence Day is on a Saturday this year in September.
Yeah.
What better way to celebrate that with two Mexican fighters, David Benavidez, Canelo Alvarez, both super middleweight champions, unifying the title, getting it on, and showing out who's the best boxer in that division and for the country of Mexico.
Yeah, that definitely would be a huge fight. But I still think he's fighting Bivol though. I think that's still happening, and
man,
I'd
be mad.
It's not. It's look. The first fight wasn't even close. I don't see the rematch going any different. So
I think the rematch will be a bit different. I think Canelo will go. He'll have a better game plan, but the result will be the same. And there's
175 pounds is a different monster, man.
But again, it's like you're trying to take over. I keep saying you're trying to take over another division. You can't even take care of your own. Come on, man. You lost already. At least defend the title against Benavidez, then go against Dimitri Bivol again if you want to.
Right. But yeah, back to this fight, man. All the credit goes to Caleb Plant.
Yeah, for sure.
He took a beating in this fight, and he went all the way to the 12th round. He went all the way to the end, and he showed a lot of heart, a lot of guts, and and then respect between both guys at the end when they said that they wouldn't. You like to see it because these guys talked a lot of shit coming into this fight, and then being able to bury the hatchet, that's good to see. And now we just look forward, man. We look forward to the future. Let's see what's next for Benavidez. Hopefully, it's the fight every true boxing fans want to see. Between Benavidez and Canelo at 168 pounds. So that is, that yet to be seen. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, 100%, guys. You guys are watching the main event brought to you by Star 6 Media. Make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms. You see the ticker, the scrolling ticker all the way on the bottom. You can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, and all at Star 6 Media, and on Twitter at _Star 6 Media. We have a plethora of videos, plethora of content of all types of sports. It's not just the combat sports that we cover here on this show. You'll get football, you'll get hockey, you'll get basketball, you'll get soccer, you'll get baseball, and of course, we talk wrestling, we talk boxing, we talk MMA, you name it. If you're a sports fan in general, you want to follow Star 6 Media on every single one of our platforms. You would not be disappointed. All right, Ricky, real quick, before we move on to our main event of the evening, let's talk about another show that we have going on. It's called Only Football. Make sure to listen to Only Football every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. As a matter of fact, here's a promo for you guys to see right now.
What's up, everybody? It's Kyle.
And I'm Rick, and welcome to Only Football, where we talk about everything going on in the NFL. You can catch our live streams on Mondays for trivia and Q&A, Thursdays for news around the league, as well as episodes of Only Football with Kyle that you can catch on Instagram and YouTube every Wednesday.
Follow us to keep up with the latest football news, trades, off-season rumors, and our favorite conspiracies here on Only Football. See ya!
See ya!
Wednesdays and Thursdays at Star 6 Media. You can watch them live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Another show, guys, coming up tomorrow, the JCA Sports Podcast with myself, Eric Avila, Jonathan Palayo. We go into every single one of the sports world. We'll talk NBA, NFL, MLB, you name it. We have a great show coming tomorrow, Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Make sure to follow us at Star 6 Media to get all the updates and watch us tomorrow at the JCA Sports Podcast. All right, Ricky, moving on. Main event of the evening, WrestleMania is here.
Yep.
WrestleMania is finally here. It's WrestleMania week, man. And let's get into it. We are here, the showcase of the Immortals, the 2-night main event, Ricky. And I want to talk about WrestleMania. I want to talk about who you think is going to show up, who you think is going to win, what's going to happen. We'll talk about our favorite WrestleMania moments, and we'll talk what's going to happen in the Raw after WrestleMania, the rest of the show. All right, let's start off with the Raw Women's Championship. Ricky, Bianca Belair goes on against Asuka. Asuka, as we know, when she first started in the WWE, she was this dominant wrestler, undefeated, going all the way to WrestleMania just to lose to Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
But that was the last time she main evented WrestleMania. But this time, Ricky, she goes against Bianca Belair, who the best women wrestler, I think, in our generation today.
Yeah,
Bianca Belair.
I agree.
What do you think about this match, and who do you think wins?
It's probably one of the least one of the least that I'm looking forward to. The buildup hasn't been great. I don't like how they were going with the storyline between these two.
It's true.
But I'm sure the match will be good because both women are very great in the ring. So that will make up for the sort of like the lackluster build to this match.
Yeah.
And but if I'm gonna go with the winner, I got Bianca still retaining her Raw Women's Championship. I think she'll retain and she'll move on to other things after this feud.
I agree with you 100%. I think out of every single one of these match cards, this has been one of the poorest builds I've seen in a long time. You're getting more of a build on the Damage Control versus Becky, Lita, and Trish than you are on the Bianca Belair and Asuka. Maybe I don't know if it's because of Asuka just she can't really do any promos.
Right.
But you got to find ways, man. Like there's no if you're gonna put Asuka in the main event against Bianca Belair, there has to be a better way to put some heat, put some fire behind this matchup. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in WWE for the fact that they were unable to build this match the way it should have been. But I agree. I think this has the makings to be one of the best matches of the night. We see Bianca Belair have great matches against Becky Lynch. Asuka's a great performer. That match with her and Charlotte Flair years ago at WrestleMania was one of the best match, if not the best match of that entire card. It was amazing. It was amazing. So I have no doubt that these two women will tear the house down. I just like you. I wish it was. I wish it was built a lot better. But I actually have Asuka winning. I don't think you put Asuka in the main event of WrestleMania again and not give her the title. I think she comes out winning this fight, trying to build her up as a character. I mean, she deserves it.
Yeah.
But they definitely have to work on her.
Yeah. They need to work on that character because they gave her new face paint, like this killer clown face paint, but she's still the same. There's nothing different about it. And that's one of the main things that I had a problem with, as they were promoting this matchup.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got Asuka winning. That's that to me, that's surprising. I don't see it, but anything can happen at WrestleMania.
You know why? I think this is a heel turn. I think she wins, and this goes a heel turn for Bianca Belair. I think it's time. I think this will be a great moment for her to become a heel, and there's no better way to do it after she loses her title at WrestleMania. And I think you can do a lot with that. I think you can do it. You need more heels in the women's division, at least bigger ones. Right now you have Rhea as a heel, which is great. But other than that, who else? Who else is a big heel right now? Becky right now is a face. Charlotte's a face. Alexa Bliss is in and out of the roster, just like Bray Wyatt is. This women's division needs another star. I think you could build Asuka to be that star, and then you could have Bianca turn heel, kind of balancing it out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's just my booking. That's what I think is going to happen.
Right. Well, let's see if they go. Let's see if they go that route because they do need some heels. I'm shocked that Charlotte is a face. It's not the role that comes natural to Charlotte Flair. I think she's a natural heel.
100%.
But they definitely need some heels. So whoever becomes a heel, whether it's Asuka or Bianca, they definitely need another heel. but I still
Yeah.
got Bianca winning. I don't think her title reign is done yet.
Okay. Next matchup, Ricky. This is your favorite matchup of the night. We already know. Oscar, almost, almost versus Brock Lesnar.
You
You
almost
know,
got that. You almost got it right.
I almost got it right. This is your favorite
Almost,
matchup and Vince McMahon's favorite matchup of the night. Brock the
because
Beast,
it's
Brock
such good
Lesnar.
shit.
Yeah, this is such good shit, pal. But the Beast Brock Lesnar versus the Giant almost. This match made no sense from the start. I still believe it doesn't make any sense, but it only happened because Brock Lesnar refused to face Bray Wyatt,
Right.
and now here he is. He's facing almost in a match, I guess, that really states nothing because both guys won't be featured much more after
Right.
WrestleMania. But what do you think about this one?
I'm not gonna lie. I have, I guess you would call a morbid curiosity toward this match, right?
Okay,
Because it's a big 7 foot Brock Lesnar, right?
right,
So
right,
it's sort of it's almost a spectacle,
yeah,
especially when Brock Lesnar is involved. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first match. If Brock wants to go home early, this will be the first match on either night 1 or 2. I wouldn't
yep,
be surprised at all.
I
But
agree.
and I don't see this going. I don't see this going more than 5 minutes. And I got Brock winning, man. One F5 will do it. We'll not. We'll put the Giant out. One F5.
I don't
Boom.
know about one F5, but I'm curious to see if he can even F5 someone like almost. To be honest,
I think he still can.
I
Even
think he
even
can.
even in his 40s, he's still a big boy. He's strong.
Right. I
I think.
definitely think he can too. I do. But it'd be great to see. I agree with you. I don't think this is going to be a long match. It'll be one of the first matches for sure. It'll be a filler. The thing is about this one though, Ricky,
Yeah.
if it's almost it's almost a shoe in that Brock wins. It's pretty what's the word I'm looking for? It's pretty blatant that Brock Lesnar wins because the entire build to this has been Brock Lesnar getting embarrassed by almost. And I
Right.
don't think WWE is going to do that. Have Brock Lesnar week in, week out get embarrassed by almost and then lose to almost at WrestleMania. I think Brock only allows that to happen to his character, knowing he's going to go and whoop his ass, and win the match at Mania. It
Yeah.
makes sense. I personally would have almost win because then you build almost. Then you know what? Hey, this is somebody who beat Brock Lesnar on the grandest stage of them all. Now let's see what we can actually do with him. He should be a powerhouse going forward if you so plan to use him, right?
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. I don't see that happening. I think Brock
Uh,
wins this fight.
yeah, I don't see that. I mean, I don't think Almost is there yet. I don't think he's that good yet. He's just a big guy, and that's the only thing he has going for him right now. So I don't know if a win over Brock would do much for him right now, but yeah, I don't know, man. I still got Brock winning. This is going to be a quick squash for Brian. He can go back home to his farm. Uh, and there you go.
Go back to Sable. Nothing wrong with that.
Going back to Sable.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, Ricky. Here we go. John Cena, Austin Theory for the United States Championship. This one was also another match. Every single one of these matches just seem rushed. They the build to a lot of these matches, other than the Roman and Cody one,
Mhm.
and the Usos and Kevin Owens. But it seems like every single one of these other matches have almost in a way kind of been rushed in a way. You know what I mean? This is another one. We've only had these guys once in the ring together. Otherwise, you hear from Austin Theory, you don't hear from John Cena. The build is not there. John Cena embarrassed Theory, I guess, on the mic a couple weeks ago, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that going. But I mean, obviously, you've seen John Cena at any capacity is pretty cool, I guess. And he's going against Austin Theory here for the U.S. title. Do you think Cena wins, or or this is just to build Austin Theory up and to prove his relevancy in the WWE?
This should be a win for Austin Theory, only because yes, he does need the rub against a star like John Cena,
Yeah.
and this is also for the United States Championship, and putting the United States Championship on a part timer like John Cena, who's most likely going back to Hollywood after this. Yeah, this should be a win for Austin Theory, but I'm going the other way though, and I'll
Really?
explain why. I'll explain why. I think John Cena wins. I think he becomes the champion, the United States champion, and I think we'll get into it later on what happens on the Raw next, right after WrestleMania. But I think John Cena will have something to do with what happens on the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. I'll say that.
You think so?
After winning this match. Yes. This is my prediction.
Okay, we'll get into that. We'll get into that for sure. I want to go there as well. I want to say Cena wins. I don't think that makes very much sense unless you and I are on the same page here, and it's to bring someone up to face maybe John Cena at the Raw after WrestleMania. But with that being said, I too feel like this should be a match where Austin Theory gets over. This should be a match where Austin Theory, just like similar to how when Roman Reigns beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And he went on and said, "This is my yard now." I think this should be the exact same thing where Austin Theory kind of gets that, as you mentioned, the rub over John Cena. And that's something he always has on his resume, and something you could say that you could build off of basically going forward throughout this year. I want to say Austin Theory wins this match. I think the more I'm thinking about it, the more I see it going that way. And what you're thinking about the open challenge, I think you can still do that with Austin Theory. I think he comes out and still kind of in a way to mimic Cena, goes on and say, "Hey, I'm gonna have an open challenge because I'm a real U.S. champ." You know what I mean? And then you still bring out whoever you want to bring out.
Cool. That's interesting. So then we can predict here. Me and you, different predictions. Who's gonna win this match and who's gonna do the open invitation?
Yeah, exactly.
Raw after WrestleMania. So there we go.
Right.
So I got Cena.
Yeah, I got Theory. doing that. But
cool.
But either way, I think we're both going the same route for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Ricky. This match, I'm actually not. I like it. You've seen more of a build with this feud than you have with the Raw Women's title, which bothers me. But in a way, I love seeing Trish Stratus back. I love seeing Lita back.
Yeah.
Right. Becky and Bayley are great. You know what I mean? I love that Dakota Kai and Io Shirai they're getting their due diligence because they're both great performers. I'm excited to see this. But I am curious because there's been a lot of rumors and reports that Trish was supposed to turn heel, and this match almost didn't happen because they had plans of her doing so. I could see this happening, and then maybe Trish still turning heel. I could see Trish sticking around after WrestleMania for a bit. Maybe going for a title shot, maybe doing a feud with Becky. I don't know, but I can see something like that happening. But for me, I think Becky, Trish, and Lita win this fight, and then we get something like that where Trish turns heel. I don't know. That's just me. What do you think?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you, man. I have Lita, Trish, and Becky winning this. Look, I love Bayley. But the Damage Control Group doesn't really do anything for me. I don't think it works. So I don't know. I think Bayley can do better than being in this stable. But
yeah,
I got Lita, Trish, and Becky winning this match for sure. And then maybe you're right. We'll see. Either we'll see Trish, if she is gonna turn heel, it can either happen here at WrestleMania or it could happen sometime down the line after WrestleMania. And you can build a story between Trish and Becky. But and then kind of have Lita caught in the middle of everything and stuff like that. So that sounds pretty cool. I think that could happen. But I got those three winning this match though.
For sure. Moving on, Ricky. This match I'm excited for because it's a Hell in a Cell match between Edge and Finn Balor. There's been reports that you may see the Demon Finn Balor. Regardless to the fact, I think these two guys will definitely put on a great match in a Hell in a Cell match. Who do you have winning?
Not only that, but I think Edge might even bring the Brood character back.
The Brood character, yeah.
And if he does that, he should bring Gangrel. You remember Gangrel? I think he was the leader of the group at that time back then in the Attitude Era. He should make a cameo in this match.
Even Christian. What not Christian? I don't know if Christian's still on AEW. But you think so? Because it seemed like that. It seemed like that burial match was to kind of close his character off here.
Yeah, but he's still under contract.
You think so? I gotta look that up.
Bro. If Christian was done with AEW, I would have seen it by now for sure. I think that would have been one of the news. That would have been one of the news stories.
I guess you would have seen a tag team match between. Yeah, you're right, but
yeah, no, he's still very much in AEW.
All right, well,
Oh, and by the way, he's coming to C2E2. By the way, here in Chicago,
That'd be
Christian
pretty
Cage.
cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to see him.
He'll be in town too. Anyways, but I got Finn Balor winning this match. I think he needs this win more than Edge. And I think there's going to be interference by oh god, his name Damian Priest. I
Damian
think
Priest.
Damian Priest will get involved in this match, and I think Finn Balor pulls out the win here, and it's probably gonna be no, I was gonna say a bloody match, but this is not AEW, this is WWE.
No, but you would see some of those type of matches. You would see some kind of blood. I agree with you on that. I think that's why you bring in the Brood character Edge, because they're known for the blood, and you bring in Finn Balor, the Demon, because he's gonna have a face paint already, anyways. So it probably
Yeah.
won't be as graphic as you think. But I agree. I think this is a bloody match.
Right. Well, who do you think wins? I have Finn.
I agree. The only reason why I agree is because I've heard reports that Edge, when he came in, he only wants to sign a contract knowing he won't win huge titles. Um, if you're not gonna use Edge to move up the ladder or to face certain wrestlers for titles, I mean, then what's the point of him winning this match? I view matchups based off what I think WWE is going to do. I think this match is going to be great. I think Finn Balor wins because he's definitely someone you could see facing maybe somebody like Cody Rhodes if he wins, or maybe going against, I don't know, say John Cena if he wins, right? But for sure, I think Finn Balor should win this match, is going to win this match, and the feud between the two ends for sure.
Yep. So 100% agree.
Yep, 100%. All right. Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, this might be one of the greatest matches because we know what Logan Paul brings to the table. We know what Seth Rollins brings to the table. Both these guys knows how to put on a performance, and you're putting them together. I think this is going to be magic. One of the greatest matches for sure. I'll go first. I think Seth Rollins wins because he's due for a WrestleMania win. It seems like he's been kind of getting the short end of the stick with getting allowing guys to come and get the rub over him. Someone like Cody Rhodes last year at WrestleMania. Yeah. I think this is where he gets his due diligence, defeats someone like Logan Paul. At the same time, I kind of feel like Logan Paul's also losing a lot. He lost to Roman Reigns, but at the same time, he's a part-time wrestler. He should be losing. He comes in, puts on a great match, and leaves. Yeah. But I feel Seth Rollins should win this match because he is one of the biggest stars.
Yeah. I agree. I think he really is due for a win, because especially with losing 3 times to Cody Rhodes, he does need this win. Logan Paul needs the win too, but at the same time, I think this is gonna be match of the night. Yeah. Of either night, night 1 and 2. I think this will be match of the night, or even match of the match of WrestleMania. I think this will be it right here.
Yep.
And this match, I think this match is gonna be so good that even if when Logan Paul, which I expect for him to lose, I don't think he loses anything really, because he's shown that. I think he's probably one of the greatest rookies that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And
he's a part-timer.
He's a part-timer. He's a part-timer. So I think he will get a big win eventually, but I don't think it happens here with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins really needs a win right here. He needs to get moved up the card. He might be one of the next challengers to the Universal title.
I agree. I definitely 100%.
I got Seth. Yeah.
I definitely 100% agree. Seth Rollins should win this match for sure. Speaking of rookies, Ricky, this next match features a rookie going against a Hall of Famer in father versus son. Finally official. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. Yeah. This match, man, I'm looking forward to, because Dominic Mysterio has really improved in so many levels. His in-ring skills, his mic skills. I mean, just he's great. He's great to watch. One of my favorites to watch right now is Dominic. Yeah. And of course, we all know Rey Mysterio, one of the greatest of all times to ever do it. He's been inducted to the Hall of Fame this year, so which tells me I believe this might be his last match. I believe this might be his last match, and what a way to go than to retire at WrestleMania against your son. There's no better way. But who do you have winning this match?
Because of that, that's why I'm going for Dominic Mysterio to win this match.
Yeah.
If Rey Mysterio is calling it a career after being inducted into the Hall of Fame and then finally stepping into the ring with his son, the best way to do it is to put him is to put, do the honors and put the guy over on your way out.
Yep.
And who better than his actual son?
Yeah.
I'm sure he would love to do it. So I mean, look, it's don't quote us here. No one said that he's retiring. We just
That's true.
assume. We just assume.
We assume. Yeah. True. Very
So,
true.
so there's nothing that's been confirmed yet. But if this is it, then there's no better way to do it. Put your son over, and this is what he wanted to do from the beginning when he brought Dominic in, and why he signed why he came back to WWE and somewhere like AEW. This is what he's here to do, and he's going to do the honors for his son, and his son is going to go on to doing big things. So,
Yeah, I mean,
and like you said, I've been very impressed with Dominic Mysterio too.
Yes,
man, lately.
Yes, and going back to what you said,
you were saying.
Going back to what you said, like, we are assuming Ray retires after this, but the only reason why we say that is because if you look at previous matches that happened at WrestleMania with guys who retired, like Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Triple H, it all happens at WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio should have that, and like I said, who better to do it than your very own son? I think that's perfect. This is a perfect way to end it. Your career, perfect way to go. You're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't be surprised if he announces that at his Hall of Fame speech. Hey, tomorrow will be my last match. You know what I mean? I just think it'd be great, man. It'd be one of the greatest stories ever written. Rey Mysterio, his journey has been amazing. I love Dominic Mysterio and the character he has in the Judgment Day. I need them to keep this going. So yeah, I think Dominic wins for that reason. He retires Ray, and he goes on. He goes on as a great heel. Definitely goes on as a great heel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's definitely going to be hated for retiring the legendary Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
So he's going to have a lot of heat after this match. So there you go, man. That's perfect. That just sounds like the perfect storyline right there.
Yep.
Perfect ending.
Yep. From beating his father to from beating his father to supporting his mommy, Rhea Ripley goes on against Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Ricky, I'll go first here. I think Rhea rights her wrong from years ago against Charlotte. I think she finally defeats Charlotte, wins the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's something I want to see. I think that's something everybody wants to see. She deserves it. Her character has been one of the greatest. It's been one of the bright spots of the year and last year. She's definitely a fan favorite. After winning the Royal Rumble, she deserves this, and I think she definitely defeats Charlotte Flair and becomes a champion.
Oh yeah, I agree. I've rooted for Rhea to win the Royal Rumble because I wanted her to go and take that title away from Charlotte. You know what? Actually, I was kind of more of her facing Bianca instead. I think that would have been a better match. But
it would have 100%.
Yeah, but this right here is just as good. Charlotte Flair, as much as we are sick and tired of Charlotte Flair coming in, getting her title shots, just like that, she shows up and she gets a title, wins the belt, right?
Yeah.
As sick of we are of that, she is still good in the ring. She's still a great athlete, and this should still be a good match. And Rhea Ripley is gonna get her win back, and she'll become a champion. This will be her night.
Yep. This will be her night. This will be her night for sure. But going to what you said, the only reason why Charlotte has been just showing up and winning is because they want her to break a record that no one has ever broke before, and that's the record of her father. She is currently the 14-time women's champion. The record is 16-time, held by her father, Ric Flair, and John Cena. Both hold the record. John Cena and Ric Flair both hold the record as the 16-time champion. So I think they've only done that because they want Charlotte Flair to break the record. I mean, it's a story. You know what I mean? It's a story.
Yeah. At the end of the day, who cares though? Who gives a shit, man? Who really cares?
Well, when it comes to it, we'll be talking about it. So it'll be a cute story, a great story going forward. But that I don't want. The only reason why I bring that is because there's fatigue there with her. But I get why they do it. I get why they have to.
Oh yeah. I get why. That doesn't make it any better though. I mean,
So
that was one of the reasons why Sasha Banks left.
Yeah, 100%. But you're right. There is fatigue there. That's why there was fatigue with John Cena because it almost seemed like they wanted him to do it, right? But he tied it. He's tied it now with Ric Flair. So So there's that. I agree with you. Rhea Ripley wins, so we'll see that for sure. Triple threat, Ricky, Intercontinental title. We have Gunther going against Drew McIntyre, Sheamus for his Intercontinental Championship.
Yes.
I think Gunther is a star.
Yeah.
I think he moves the needle. I think he's going to be one of the greatest heels WWE was going to have. He has the size. He has legit power. He just has the look. He's in better shape than he's ever been. I think this Intercontinental title run was a test run for him to see how he does as a champion. They haven't featured him as much lately. I get why, because you have other storylines you have to get to, but he is definitely someone going forward. I think they're going to be featuring a lot more. I think he loses because of that, though. I think he does lose to either Sheamus or Drew. That way, you can start moving him up the ranks for a title contention, whether it's between Roman or Cody. Yeah. But with that being said, I think Sheamus gets his due and gets his WrestleMania moment here and defeats Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, you stole my thunder. I was hoping you were going for Drew to win, because I go for Sheamus as well. I think Sheamus will win this. I think he'll pin Drew McIntyre though. I don't think Gunther will be pinned in this match.
Yep, that's how you protect him.
I think it's to protect him. So I think Drew will take the fall for this one. Sheamus has won every except the Intercontinental title.
Yep.
Believe it or not, he's won the WWE title, the Universal title, States tag team. He's basically, he's won the Royal Rumble before and Money in the Bank, everything that you can think of, but the Intercontinental Championship. And he has talked about that he wants that. That's the only title he's not. That's the title that he wants to win. So I think he will get his due in this match. He will finally become Intercontinental Champion. And it's amazing to look at how Sheamus has been in this company for a long time, and he's racked up a lot of championships, a lot of wins. I mean, he's become a veteran. He's become a veteran in this in the WWE.
100%.
Yeah. So
for him and for him not to win Intercontinental title, it's kind of baffling, right? It's like, what, really? It's kind of weird, but I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, so that is baffling, but here it is. This will be his opportunity. This will be the one title he's never won. He's gonna win it, and Drew McIntyre is gonna be pinned and gonna move up to bigger and better things, man. Especially in that world title picture.
Yeah, I agree with 100%. Gunther moves up. Sheamus wins it. Not only just wins it, but he wins it at WrestleMania on the grandest stage of them all. I agree 100%. Drew takes the fall to protect Gunther. And then maybe you do Gunther versus. We'll get into that after the main event. But let's talk about the next match, Ricky. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Usos for not just one SmackDown Tag Team titles, but for the Raw Tag Team titles. It's for the undisputed Tag Team Championships. The Usos, Sami and Kevin. Do you want to do the honors? Or you want me to go first?
I'll go. I think who's going to win? Who I think is going to win this match are Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they win. Yeah. I think they win both titles. Sami has been part of this bloodline story, and as much as I wanted to be part of the world title picture in the WrestleMania, this is the next best thing for him. He has his issues with the Usos. Kevin Owens also got involved. They reunite. And I don't think they've ever been tag team champions before, so this is going to be a first for them.
Yeah.
And no brainer. This is no brainer for me. At WrestleMania, at the grandest stage of them all, they become the tag team champions.
I agree, Ricky. I agree 100%. You don't continue to let the Usos, be the tag team champions for both, unless I just don't see it happening. For what reason? They're not. They're on every show, but they're not defending the titles. This makes sense that way you have Sami and Kevin defend the titles, and you can even split them later on throughout the year. But for sure,
I think there will be a big story coming out of this match too, involving this whole bloodline thing and all this. So
everyone says that. I think I might know where you're going here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it's gonna be, but there's something gonna happen here. There's some kind of story that has to do, I don't know. What do you think is going to happen if something's going to happen?
Everyone talks about Jay versus Roman. That's all I've been hearing is Jay versus Roman, Roman versus Jay.
I've
That's
heard
gonna
that.
come
Yeah.
back. That's gonna come back, and that's how this whole bloodline tribal chief thing started, and that's
Yeah.
how it's gonna end. I don't. Everyone thinks it's gonna be for a title,
Yeah.
assuming Roman wins. I think you can do it without a title. I think you can. I think we can go right into it. I think Cody Rhodes defeats Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship. I do 100%, and I'll go first. I guess I do 100% really think Cody Rhodes defeats Roman Reigns. I think Jey Uso has something to do with it. I think he's tired of Roman Reigns. I think he's done with Roman Reigns.
Mhm.
I think somehow, some way, he helps Cody win. Cody
Right.
wins the titles, and you can still do a big time feud or match between Roman and Cody later down the line. Maybe having that lead up to SummerSlam. I don't know, right?
Right.
But you can't do it. You definitely can't do something like that. It had to be for the titles for it to be relevant. Remember, all this started with those two guys feuding. This could be I can't even talk. This could be a bad blood match between these two guys. Um, you know, but yeah,
Right.
I think Cody Rhodes wins at WrestleMania. I think it's the smart play. I think that everyone I think after Cody won before the Royal Rumble, really, I think this was very predictable. I think everybody knew Cody was going to come in, win the Royal Rumble, go on to WrestleMania, and dethrone Roman Reigns. I think that's always been the plan. Everyone's always known about this, but then the narrative has changed. People started thinking about, wait, hold on, but there's this 1,000-day reign that's about to come up right now. I think
Yeah.
maybe
Only
Roman
50
wins.
days left.
Right, maybe Roman wins, but I think that's only benefited WWE to kind of change that narrative that this isn't too predictable. That Roman Reigns, yes, that there is a possibility Roman Reigns leaves. I don't think that's happening. I think Cody wins, and you could do
Well,
so much more with Cody going forward. You could have him lose one of the titles. It doesn't make sense for Roman to beat Cody and then lose. Yeah, because the titles have to be split. He would have to lose twice. It makes no sense to me.
yeah.
You know,
Right. Right.
Cody
Right.
Cody wins.
There's also there's also the news that um that Triple H is undecided on who is going to go over in this match. Still, there are some talk going around that he's still undecided on who wins this match. As far as what I think is going to happen, I'm going the reverse here. Okay, if I can go back to the tag team match, I think Jey Uso will be the one responsible for them losing the tag team champions, tag team championship. I think he will be the one that is responsible. Either he's going to get pinned or he's going to probably I don't know, accidentally attack his brother Jimmy, but somehow or something, probably hit him with the belt or something by accident and cause the loss. I think that's what happens. And then in this match, I think Roman still wins. I think Roman wins. I think they're gonna go with the 1,000-day reign. And then what they do from there, that's where I think the feud between Jay and Roman starts with that, because Roman is gonna look at him like, look at you, you failed, you failed. I
Oh,
retained my championships. You guys are no longer the champions anymore. Why should why should you be in my presence? You're this and that, blah blah blah, right? I know Roman will eventually lose the title, but I don't think it happens at WrestleMania.
it has to.
I don't think Cody will
It
take
has.
the championships yet.
It has to happen at WrestleMania. I think it makes more sense if you do it at WrestleMania, because then what, you're going to do it at Backlash, you're going to do it at Money in the Bank, you're going to do it at SummerSlam.
You can do
SummerSlam's
it at
way too
SummerSlam.
long, and Roman's already shown that he's a part-time champion. It makes no sense. You're going to continue going down this road that you've been
Mhm.
doing these last couple months. Roman is not there every week.
Yeah.
You don't have your WWE or Universal Champion every week. That's an issue. So you're going to still doing what? Austin Theory versus who? At the main event of every match. Come on now, it makes no sense. I think Cody wins, so Cody's a fighting champion. You're going to see Cody there every single week. That's the story you need to go to, because Roman deserves a break. I think he's going to take a break. I do agree that a feud between him and Jay comes, but that comes to the expense of Roman losing the titles. I think that makes much more sense, makes him way more pissed off, and that definitely breaks the bloodline there. And you can do so much with Cody. You can have him face Seth Rollins. You can have him face Gunther. You can have him face whoever, and then drop a title to one of the guys. Right? It doesn't really matter.
Right.
As long as he has one title, that's all that matters. He's still over. And then you go back
Um,
to doing so many different storylines.
Now, I'm not going to say what you said doesn't make sense. It absolutely makes sense. But we're talking about WWE who likes to brag about this and that,
Yeah.
and having Roman Reigns 1,000 days as Universal Champion is something that they can brag about for years and years and years and years. Like, yeah, Roman is the greatest of all time. That's the kind of shit that they like to spit out. That's
Yeah.
the kind of things they like to say. I find it hard to believe that you're only 50 days out from achieving that milestone, and then for him to lose that opportunity, for him to lose at WrestleMania, and then just everything is lost. No more. There's no more 1,000 days. Who cares about 950 days? They like all those zeros at the end of a number. WWE does. 1,000 days as champion, as Universal Champion, is much more memorable than 950 days as champion.
Yeah.
It really is.
I agree. I mean, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, and I agree. I think
So
if they do go that route, that's the reason why. And
that's the reason why. I'm not saying
why.
Cody will never be champion. I think he will. I just don't see it happening here because of that. That's the reason why. That's the only reason why I see it.
This is why I say WWE's put themselves in a great position because it's not predictable. It can go either way. You're going to have haters on either side, and you're going to have supporters on either side. This is going to be great television, great must-watch wrestling this weekend. And we're going to be with Eric, who's in the comments. Says he agrees. He said Roman is going to win. We're going to be watching this. We're going to be watching this.
Roman is their biggest star, man.
Yeah,
I don't Roman. I think they want to try to keep him around as much as possible. And he loses the championships, he's going to take a long extended vacation.
He deserves it. Yeah, of course.
He deserves it. But as far as I just don't see Cody carrying this company. I really don't see it.
But he doesn't have to be the only one. Like you have others.
Well,
I can't see it. I can't see it.
I don't see it because there's someone that needs to replace Roman. Because without Roman, this company would be in big trouble if Roman wasn't around. I just don't see it with Cody. I think people are gonna tire of Cody. I tire of his long-winded promos and all this emotion for
But
no
the thing
reason.
is,
It's tiring for me. I don't get it.
Roman's not going anywhere. He'll take a break, but let's be honest, he's already part-time anyway. So it's like that's what I'm saying. They're slowly but surely getting you used to.
But I'm talking about Cody here. I don't see him replacing Roman. I don't.
That's what it seems like they're gearing up to. This whole WrestleMania run has been them gearing up to it. You see Roman less, you see more of Cody, and you see more of Cody in a great light. Like he's being dominant. He's a huge baby face. Yeah. You're seeing him go against someone like Solo Sikoa. You're seeing him help Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. He knows how to cut a promo.
Right.
It almost seems like they're getting us prepared with life without Roman, with Cody at the helm. That's what it seems like it's been going on.
But it's also being forced. I don't know. It's being forced to me. And the reason why it's being forced, dude, there's a reason why he's in this position. It's because they want to get one over AEW.
No,
they brought Cody in and they put him in this prime position so that way they can get one over in AEW and show, hey, we can we'll treat everybody good over here, even if you were in AEW. That's the only reason why he's in this position.
But it made sense. I agree that's definitely a factor. But I don't think it's the main factor. Think about this: if it was anybody else coming from AEW, they wouldn't be just thrown into this position. Cody Rhodes came into this with a great story. He came into this already a relevant superstar coming out from the Indies and AEW. He has the look, he has the promo, he has everything that you need to be a champion in WWE. So it made sense 100%. And yes, it's definitely a fact that this also puts one over AEW. Of course, there's without a doubt.
I guarantee you though. I predict that he will be another one of those baby faces that the fans are going to turn on. Just like they did to John Cena.
That's the thing. The only reason why it's been forced is because he was injured for 9 months. Otherwise, it wouldn't have seemed forced, because after he beat Seth Rollins 3 times, he would have went on a tear. And I think he would have won over people more and more, but because he was injured for 9 months, then you bring it's always been the plan for him to beat Roman. Then you bring him into Royal Rumble, you have him win it, and now people are like, "Oh, what the hell's going on?" But again, that's because he was injured. It's not his fault. That was always the plan.
I don't know if that. No, actually, the original plan was Roman and Rock. That was the original plan.
Yeah, but that was always a toss-up.
That was the original.
That was always a toss-up, though.
Cody. No. Well, Well, yeah, but that they were really banking on The Rock being at WrestleMania Goes Hollywood because it made a whole lot of sense in the world. But the Rock is, let's just face it, I don't think The Rock's ever going to come back. I think he's done. But they really were banking on him, coming in. That was the original plan. Rock and Roman at WrestleMania this year. That was the original plan. And when that fell through, they went with Cody. And that's just how it is. That's just how it happened. I mean, even Stone Cold was in the plans. Stone Cold
Yeah.
versus they offered Stone Cold Steve Austin to The Rock. So really, really, Cody was probably the third option. He wasn't the original plan when they brought him back. And especially after he came back from the pec injury, there were other plans in place that they wanted to go with, but they went with Cody. All right, but again, I don't see Roman. I mean, I don't see Roman. Yeah, I don't see Roman losing the belts this night, man. I really don't. I don't think they're ready to move on from Roman yet because, to be honest, I don't think Cody can carry the company like that, like how Roman has. I really
I
don't. I don't see
disagree.
it.
I disagree, but
I don't
we're
see it.
gonna agree to disagree, and that's what makes WrestleMania. That's what's gonna make this weekend even better because we're both gonna go in with our opinions. We're both gonna look, whatever happens, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great to watch regardless. So I can't wait for it. Real quick, Ricky, because I know we got to end the show. Your favorite WrestleMania moment?
My favorite WrestleMania moment was it has to be when Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit were in the ring celebrating.
Yep.
After they were both champions for Raw and SmackDown. This was after Benoit beat Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and they were in there celebrating together after a long road. The long road that it took for them to get there at the top of the company, at the top of the wrestling industry, right?
Yeah.
And sad, and it's just sad, and it's also sad because that was after that everything went downhill between both guys,
Yep.
and so. But that is my favorite. That's my favorite WrestleMania moment.
There's so many. You could talk about the Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, retiring Ric Flair. You could talk about that was also one of my favorites was Eddie and Chris Benoit. But another one has to be the Undertaker in that match against Shawn Michaels, retiring Shawn Michaels. It was such a poetic match, an amazing match, one of the best matches you'll ever see with two legendary characters who were larger than life. 100%, man. Those two guys putting on that great matchup, calling it quits for Shawn Michaels. There's no better than that. I think that was my favorite WrestleMania moment when the Undertaker retired Shawn Michaels.
Right.
Eric's WrestleMania moment saying Lesnar beating the Undertaker. As shocking as that was for him. Right, Ricky, real quick. Who Raw after WrestleMania? Who do you think shows up? What's the big surprise? What do you got?
I think the big surprise will be after John Cena wins the United States Championship, he's going to have an open challenge. And the guy to answer that open challenge will be Switchblade Jay White. And he will beat him. And he will beat John Cena and and become the United States champion.
Switchblade Jay White made a killing, made a living on being the IGWP United States champion there, U.S. heavyweight champion. So it's only fitting that he comes in and wins that title. I agree. I think Jay White would be I think Jay White also appears at the Raw after WrestleMania. I think that's also another person that will definitely help this company, and this company will help him. He's a great wrestler. For those who don't know, he was in New Japan Pro Wrestling for so long. He's amazing. Another one of the Bullet Club guys. He would be great here. I can see that happening. Another person I think opens up that challenge is Braun Breaker from NXT. I think as he finally gets the call up going to Raw, I think you're going to see a debut from Braun Breaker, who is currently the NXT Heavyweight Champion. He is the son of, is it Rick Steiner? Yeah, the son of Rick Steiner.
Yep.
The son.
The son of Rick Steiner, nephew of Scott Steiner.
Yep, the nephew of Scott Steiner, the son of Rick Steiner. He is great. He looks the part. He talks the part. He'd be great in the main roster.
The Steiner is very apparent in him.
Yeah, the Steiner is very apparent. I think he gets called up. He has a title match against Carmelo Hayes, who's also been another great staple for NXT, and Stand and Deliver, which is the night before, which is Saturday morning. I'm going to watch it. It's going to be a great match. I think Carmelo Hayes wins the title. and takes over NXT, and then Braun Breaker then moves up on Raw. Eric says Big E, which is someone else I think makes an appearance, comes back now with Kofi being gone and injured. Big E can come back and help Xavier Woods be a tag team again. I think him coming back is great. Also, Randy Orton, Ricky. There's been reports that Randy Orton's ready to go.
Yeah, there
Makes
you
his
go.
return.
He can come back. Yeah, he can. He might even show up at WrestleMania just to make a cameo.
Yeah. I think if Roman Reigns does win and beats Cody, I think he's the next program, because remember they were supposed to face for the titles before he got injured, and they had to scrap it. So I think if Roman does beat Cody, that's the next feud right there. Kind of leaving off with what they had with Randy Orton.
Yeah, even the other way around too. Even Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes have history.
Yeah,
dating back when they were part of that group. When Cody Rhodes was starting out. So if it goes that way, that's another way they can go too, with 100%. Cody and Randy. So there you go.
100%. The women's division definitely needs a call up from NXT. They have plenty. I don't have who yet, but I'm gonna put out a TikTok tomorrow on who I think it's called up from NXT. So make sure to look for that on our Instagram and our TikTok. I'll have an NXT minute that I'll be doing every week. For those who don't know about NXT, maybe get you guys brought up to speed. But yeah, the NXT minute will be debuted tomorrow, and I'll talk about who I think it's called up from NXT going into the main roster. But that's it, Ricky. That's it. Our show in the books. WrestleMania this weekend. We'll be talking about that next week, and we'll be ready and previewing the fight UFC 287 between Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya in that title fight. So definitely next week's going to be a week you guys want to be tuned in for sure.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a fun fight. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, all right, Eric. See you guys Saturday and Sunday for sure. Thank you guys for my brother Ricky once again. My name's Jose Contreras. You guys have watched the main event of the evening. We will see you guys next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main